The craft beer community is very open door right now. Breweries in San Diego, Stone, Ballast Point, we make regular phone calls to them. They answer the phone and actually answer our questions in the hopes that we will get more craft beer market share. And the macro beer loses market share as more and more craft beer populates the nation. So we're not at that point yet where it is cutthroat, where it's every man for himself. It's still a fairly open door, and there's a lot of camaraderie, and it's cool.
What do you guys think about the craft beer market right now? I've been reading like a lot of the big companies like Anheuser-Busch and stuff. They're buying up little craft breweries and kind of trying to market them. The growth has been insane since like 2010.
Just trying to recapture market share.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that as passionate brewers?
That's out of my scope of
Right on.
just out of my scope. I don't think about it.
Cool. So you're just strictly about the beer. What happens after the brew process is another group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Absolutely.
I got you. That's cool. So what do you think, man? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate that they buy up places, and I don't like it that places are for sale to companies like that, because I feel like a lot of craft brewing sort of got it going to compete against those brands, or not compete against those brands, but establish more choice for consumers, and then as well as like create a different kind of capitalist ethos, and not just play hardball business tactics, like selling your product based on it being a quality product, number one, and then you have your tangentials after that, not just being about bottom line throughput crap. But then the other thing is that being interested in British history and culture, this exact thing, like we could draw parallels to the British beer industry in the 1900s, last century, where all the breweries just gobbled each other up to recapture market share, and then went kaput. Like they'd buy up brands to move their product into, like a large brewery would buy up other breweries, shut down that brewery, fire everyone, but say, oh, local market, we'll continue to brew your favorite local beer. So people were continuing to buy it just on the sake of nostalgia, and they've slowly phased out all the other popular brands from that brewery. Then they get to the point they're just brewing the bitter or whatever. Then about 20 years later, they stop brewing the bitter. So your brewery's completely gone. All that stuff you work for, all the things that those people loved, having a local brewery, local ownership, all the beers that they brewed, being made in the area, having some sort of affinity to it, it's just washed out in this the bigger breweries' attempt to recapture market share. And some of those big breweries, they ended up going completely defunct themselves, so they just don't exist anymore. Like I went to brewing school in Sunderland, and there's a big brewery there. It was a big brewery there. It was one of the largest breweries in the world, like the 5th largest brewery in the world in the late 1800s. And it's just an empty field right now.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit, and I don't want that to happen in the American market. We're making all these wonderful products, and then just to have them become part of the AB InBev or Miller Coors portfolio, it's just like, why did I put all that effort together? Like, not that we need to have a legacy. Yeah, you just sold out. You could establish a really solid, amazing company, and then that is like something that you then get to pass down to. I've established this wonderful company. If I want to move on, you can pass it down to the next generation of excellent CEOs that want to run a really successful beer company. It doesn't have to be more and more and more market share. It doesn't have to be that way. It's new, innovative products. Keeping yourself interesting and relevant is a big enough struggle in of itself. So
That's true too.
Most of our beers, when we decide to make a beer, probably the same with you guys, you don't want to just make a beer, you want to have one, you want to have like 6 is kind of our threshold of where we want to be.